What's up, guys? We are back with another replay from Smogon World Cup. This time it's my buddy and teammate Brofist playing Jirachee from, of course, Team Canada. Once again, Brofist is representing Team US East because, that's the team I'm on as well. And let's get right into the match. So they're both using offensive teams. Brofist is going to be leading off with his Aegislash as Keldeo is Jirachee's lead of choice. Now, the reason Jirachee decides to lead off with his Keldeo is because he was expecting Brofist to want to lead off with Mamoswine, thinking that it was Sash lead Mamoswine, as Brofist decides to lead off with Aegislash, predicting Jirachee to want to lead off with his Deoxys Speed. Now, this is more than likely Specs Keldeo. That's the most common set. Specs Keldeo is a huge threat, and because Brofist is running offense, he really doesn't have too many switch-ins to it. He is going to decide to go out to his Deoxys Speed. The reason being is this Deoxys Speed is actually running HP and Spadef EVs, so it can always live one Specs Hydro Pump from full HP. And Brofist's team is actually based around screens and setup mons. So keep in mind that this Aegislash has a balloon, since that will come into play later on. So Jirachee is going to decide to go right for the Hydro Pump, as Brofist does decide to go out into his Deoxys Speed, which he is able to live, confirming that this Hydro Pump from this Keldeo was indeed glasses boosted. So basically I just said that there was choice specs without trying to mess up my words. So Brofist is going to go for his Stealth Rocks because there's no way that Keldeo will want to stay in risking the Psycho Boost, as Jirachee decides to switch out into his T-Tar to get up the Sand. That way it would knock out Deoxys in that turn. Now Brofist brought in Mamoswine, goes right for the Earthquake. Mamoswine is a huge threat versus offensive teams. There's not really too much that can switch in. As you guys can see, Ice Shard Rex Landorus, EQ Rex T-Tar, EQ Rex Deoxys, Icicle Spear Rex Latias, EQ Rex Aegislash, and EQ Rex Keldeo. So this is a big threat towards offensive teams, but the reason Brofist is actually going to decide to stay in this turn was because if Latias decides to defog, he can knock it out with Icicle Spear, and if Latias decides to go for the Draco, now while sacking Mamoswine, that gives him a free switch into Gyarados, and this isn't your normal Mega Gyarados. This is actually regular Gyarados running Lumberry. It's DD3 attacks, and Lumberry helps it bluff the Mega Stone. It also helps it versus Scalds and priority Thunder Waves from Thundurus. So he goes right for the Dragon Dance right here, and now he's going to reveal the bounce, as he is going to bounce up, as Keldeo is going to go for the Icy Wind, more than likely trying to lower its speed. That way Latias or Deoxys Speed could come in after if it does decide to try and Dragon Dance again and knock it out with Draco or Psycho Boost / Superpower had it been a Mega Gyarados. But no, he's a regular Gyarados, going to go right for the bounce, get his Moxie boost after knocking out the Latias, as Jirachee is forced to bring in his Deoxys Speed since Gyarados will OHKO the remaining members of his team. So going to go right for the Psycho Boost. It does a hell of a lot, as Brofist is able to knock it out with the Waterfall, but now he's going to go out to his Aegislash. And unless Jirachee wants to be swept by this +3 Gyarados, he is going to go right for the Shadow Sneak, as Brofist is going to take this as an opportunity to switch out into his T-Tar, since it's more than likely that Jirachee is not going to want to get swept, since this is a tournament match. So he's going to switch out into his T-Tar, as Jirachee does end up going right for the Shadow Sneak. And Aegislash, of course, leaves a lot of 50-50s. If T-Tar Dragon Dance is right here, it could essentially wreck Jirachee's team. So he's going to take this as an opportunity to switch out into his Keldeo, knowing that at that amount of HP, he could take one +1 EQ, as Brofist decides to go right for the EQ, not wanting to mess around with this Aegislash, as he's going to decide to sack his Gyarados right here to the Hydro Pump. Jirachee ends up missing the first one. Doesn't really matter too much because the second one does connect, as he's able to knock out the Gyarados. And at this time, Brofist can just go right out into his Thundurus and basically just revenge kill with the Thunderbolt. So Jirachee is going to decide to go out to his Aegislash right here. Again, Aegislash leads a lot of 50-50s. He could go for the Shadow Ball to knock out Thundurus, or he can go for Sacred Sword, predicting Tyranitar. And Brofist could stay in, predicting the Sacred Sword, and then get off a Thunderbolt and 2-hit KO Aegislash, or even go for the knockoff, because Brofist is actually running knockoff on his Thundurus. So Brofist is going to decide to switch out into his T-Tar. Once again, like I said, it was a 50-50. He could have went for the Sacred Sword right there, as Jirachee does decide to go right for the Shadow Ball. So right here, unless Jirachee wants to get swept, it's more than likely that he's going to stay in Blade form and try and go for this Sacred Sword, because if T-Tar gets the +1, it will be able to sweep Jirachee's team. So Brofist is expecting him to want to attack him, so he's going to go right for the Earthquake right here, That way he'll be able to knock out the Aegislash. Now once again, it is a bunch of 50-50s with Aegislash. Brofist ends up getting it correctly once again as he able to knock out the Aegislash. As now Jirachee is going to go out into his T-Tar, and he is going to Mega Evolve and go right for the Dragon Dance. Now the reason Brofist does not go for Dragon Dance is because all he needs is damage on this T-Tar. That way Aegislash can knock it out with Iron Head. There's no reason to go for Dragon Dance and force a speed tie between Mega T-Tar, as they're both more than likely Jolly, and yeah, there's no reason that. All he needs is damage, because he does have Prankster T-Wave on Thundurus, which can just come in, cripple this Tyranitar, and then give him the free switch into his Aegislash. So he's going to go right for the Thunder Wave, as Jirachee is able to knock him out with the Ice Punch. But now Brofist is down to his last Pokemon, and he's going to be able to go right for the Iron Head, which will be able to knock out his T-Tar, and Jirachee is now down to Landorus. Now, I'm going to explain the situation right here. Brofist's set is SD, Iron Head, Head Smash, and Shadow Sneak. He does not have King Shield. Now, if Landorus has Knockoff, that will be able to knock out Aegislash 100%. Even though it has a balloon and he can't go for Earth Power, he can go for Knockoff. So, let me show you some calcs right here. Iron Head does 54 to 64. Shadow Sneak does 27 to 32. As we can see, Landorus is at 88% after Stealth Rocks. So, in order for Iron Head plus Shadow Sneak to knock him out, he needs a high roll on Iron Head and a high roll on Shadow Sneak. Now, he could potentially go for Head Smash, which will ensure that Shadow Sneak will be able to knock out Landorus, sorry. But if Head Smash gives it too much recoil after the psychic damage from Landorus, because Aegislash is running 72 HP EV, so this is the psychic damage from Landorus. We also calced Modest, but we find out at the end that it was a timid Landorus, so there's no point in really showing the Modest. So the damage is 46 to 55.5%. So Aegislash's best bet is going for Head Smash, but there is a chance that if he gets too high of a roll on Head Smash, he can go down to his own recoil, meaning that Jirachee will win the game. So there was a lot going on, and if Landorus has knockoff, Brofist basically lost. But Landorus decides to go right for the Psychic. It does 56%. That's actually 55.5%, as well. You guys can't see, but I can see on the side. So he gets absolute max on his Psychic. We did confirm that it was timid Landorus with Soul Gazer and Jirachee later on. So on top of that, Head Smash does 76, so he gets a high roll on Head Smash. So it's all down to, will Aegislash live the recoil? If it doesn't live the recoil, basically Brofist loses the game. If it does, he wins the game with Shadow Sneak. Aegislash ends up living with 2 HP on 1%, and he's able to knock him out with the Shadow Sneak. So that was a really good game. Brofist and Jirachee came down to the wire. Guys, I hope you all enjoyed. It was a good game. I was like, whoa, when Aegislash was down to 1%. But yeah, good game. We are currently 3-1 versus Canada. We need 2 more wins to ensure that we go on to semifinals. I will be posting the one that we lost. It was Black and White OU sometime in the near future. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more X and Y. Of course, I'll be still doing our road to top 10 in NU. And yeah, so until next time, guys. Later.